Have you ever considered eating bugs?
No, but I saw it on movies before.
Do you think bugs would be tasty?
No, because they're super nasty and they have and the bugs that you can eat. I think that they're nasty too.
What if I told you our ancestors regularly ate bugs?
I would kind of believe that because our ancestors are cavemen, so that kind of explains why.
What if I told you that it's very common to eat bugs around the world, including but not limited to chocolate-covered grasshoppers and ant soup?
I would not eat one, but I would for the chocolate.
Tell me the truth. Would you eat ant soup?
No, because I think ants bite and they would hurt you even if they're dead, and they would actually taste really nasty in soup.
Tell me the truth, and it's honesty time. You've never swallowed a fly when you're running with your mouth open?
I actually have before, and it tastes awful.
So if I coated bugs, ants, grasshoppers, maybe even worms in caramel, and maybe coated them in coconut, you wouldn't try them then?
No, because I don't like coconut and not that much of a big fan of caramel either.
Did you know that bugs are considered to be part of a very nutritious and well-balanced diet?
No, because I think that bugs are really nasty and they actually eat other bugs like grasshoppers and ants. But sometimes ants could be good.
United Nations recommends that we consume more bugs as a way to improve our health and also reduce pollution. Are you ready to take on this challenge?
I'm scared.
Welcome to the universe in a seashell, the podcast dedicated to science, life, and girl power. I'm Kara Bartek and I'm your host. I'm a PhD, an author, and I want to make this world a more equal and opportune place, one girl at a time. Welcome to the universe and the seashell. Bon appetit, my friends. Today we are going to be talking about the delightful and delectable bugs. What do you think, Penny? Are you ready to talk about some delicious, tasty bugs? Yeah? Okay. Oh, so I've got a pop quiz for you. What would you rather eat? A dog toenail sandwich or a mustard and worm hot dog?
I like none.
None? Okay. Well, did you know that eating bugs is pretty commonplace?
Isn't bugs good for you?
Absolutely. And that's everything that we're going to be talking about the podcast today. So we are in the final stretches of our 10-part series on bugs. And since we are so close to Halloween, we've been talking about the horrible, terrible, most awful things that bugs can be. aka monsters. We've been comparing them to some of the most spooky and ghoulish Halloween monsters that are out there, right?
Monsters are fake on movies, but they made up monsters, right, Mommy?
Right, but we're going to be talking about something that's kind of scary to Americans like us, which is eating bugs. Because eating bugs seems awful, right?
I hate bugs.
But I'm going to be the first to tell you that my research shows otherwise. But before we begin, I want to remind everybody out there that's listening, if you're digging the show, if you're laughing along, if you're learning some fun and interesting facts, please make sure that you subscribe or hit that notification button, or better yet, rate and review us. That really helps raise the visibility of the universe in a seashell. And you know what we're all about? We're all about making this world a more equal and opportune place, one girl at a time, right? And we can't do that by ourselves, can we, Penny?
You can.
No, we can't.
I'm confident, Daniel.
Oh, you're confident. You are. She's one of my favorite co-hosts, and it's almost going to be her birthday, and I'm really debating on whether or not we should bake her a bug cake. Maybe What? Okay, now, are you willing and ready to have an open mind on the podcast?
I'm not a vegetarian.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of an interesting question. So are you still a vegetarian if you eat bugs?
I hate bugs. They poop on me.
Okay, so let's talk about eating bugs, okay? Now, as horrible as it seems, eating bugs is actually very, very common. Now, according to National Geographic, 10,000 years ago, hunter and gatherers actually ate bugs to survive. And the way that they figured out how to do this is they watched animals eat the bugs, okay? So imagine this. Imagine you're out in the wilderness, and 10,000 years ago, it was pretty darn cold, and you didn't have any Burger Kings, you had no Taco Bells, and you certainly had no Whataburgers around. So you had to find your own food. Now, if you're starving McMarvin, what are you going to do, Penny?
Eat bugs, watch an animal.
Yes.
You're like picking up bugs with their mouths. But the people
And they were
pick up
eating 'em.
with the hands.
Exactly. See? And so they knew that the animals were surviving. So they watched the animals and they used their best instinct, their best survival techniques, and they made sure that they lived to see another year by eating bugs. Okay? Now, the ancient Romans and Greeks also dined on insects. Now, Pliny, the 1st century Roman scholar and author of Historia Naturalis, wrote that Roman aristocrats loved to eat beetle larvae reared on flour and wine. Okay? So now these are aristocrats. That means the super fancy schmancy rich people. Okay, nowadays the super fancy schmancy rich people, they only eat Taco Bell, right? Oh, no. Maybe not Taco Bell. Maybe like sushi.
No, they eat bugs.
They eat bugs? Okay. Well, at any rate, back then, they were eating this beetle larva. Now, Aristotle, who is this super important 4th century Greek philosopher, in his writings, he described an ideal time to harvest cicadas.
But
And
what if they made bug soup?
Well, just wait. I'm getting there, my friend. Okay? Now, this is what he said. The larva of the cicada, on attaining full size in the ground, becomes a nymph. That means like a little bitty cicada. Then it tastes better before the husk is broken. At first, the males are better to eat. But after reproduction, the females, which are full of white eggs, are the tastiest. Ew, 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 ew. Okay? And so this is Aristotle. This is, again, one of the most famous thinkers in the history of the world. He's writing about how he loves to dine on cicadas. And we can kind of hear the cicadas tonight, can't we? So
I
just
need the
think,
cicadas right now.
if you hadn't gotten full on all of those tacos, you could go on out there and get you a nice crunchy cicada.
Yeah.
Maybe we could
Nice
wrap it in a
crunchy.
tortilla.
Ew.
Now, even
They
in the,
don't have tortillas in the pockets.
we could just run inside and get one.
Oh.
Now listen to this. Even in the Old Testament of the Bible, its writings encouraged Christians and Jews to consume locusts, beetles, and grasshoppers. St. John the Baptist is said to have survived on locusts and honey when he lived in the desert. Okay, so
He eats honey?
yeah, with bugs. So I guess that kind of made it go down a little bit
Maybe
easier.
this ate honey. Maybe this ate honey.
But he added locusts. So again, this isn't just some ancient hunters and gatherers. This is St. John the Baptist. Now, in the mid 19th century, Major Howard Egan, who was a superintendent of the Pony Express in Nevada, he observed a Paiute Indian hunt where the quarry was neither bison nor rabbit, but rather wingless Mormon crickets. Now listen to how they did this. Major Egan described how the Paiute dug a series of large trenches, covered them with straw, and then drove herds of crickets into the excavated trap. Okay? Then what happened? The Indians set the straw on fire, burning the crickets alive. Now the Paiute women, they gathered up the bushels of the charred bugs and brought them back to camp, and they made flour for bread. And this was considered to be a very important seasonal source of protein for these particular Native Americans. Yeah.
Those are...
So it's cricket bread.
Mm.
Okay, you're starting to come around. Now, here's the deal, though. We don't typically eat bugs in America and in a lot of the Western world.
We don't eat bugs, but we have food right from a store. And,
Right.
And we go out to eat or something.
Yeah.
If we find something.
Well, and
If you
here's the deal.
Look on the map.
Us
like on
not
the
eating
GPS.
bugs is generally because of the way that our culture has been developed, okay? Now, when we started becoming farmers in the Western world, we viewed insects as the destroyers of our crops, okay? So that's when we started thinking of them as not being a desirable source of food, because they were actually trying to destroy our food, right? Yeah. They like to hop on crops and eat the corn, eat the wheat, eat the things that we're trying to harvest and grow. So we kind of viewed them as a nuisance.
And we tried to kick them out of the sorghum and the corn.
Yeah, we tried to kick them out. Now, the same went for livestock. When we began to farm cows, pigs, chickens, all of that kind of good stuff, bugs are generally seen as a nuisance, something that's kind of dirty. Now, but here's the deal. So for us, it's considered against our culture to eat bugs.
People eat ladybugs. I have a ladybug walk there.
Yes. Yeah, we generally don't eat ladybugs. But the thing about it is we do eat things that a lot of other cultures consider super nasty, super gross, okay? Now, we eat shrimp and lobster, which are technically
Bugs.
insects. Well, they're arthropods, okay?
But I like them. They're meat.
You like shrimp?
Yeah.
You
They're
like
kinda
lobster?
meat.
Yeah. Well, see, they're truly arthropods, which is the same thing as an insect. So, in a way,
But
we
it's,
do eat insects.
But it's real. They only 100.
Now, we also eat pork, which a lot of cultures consider to be a very dirty meat, and also oysters.
Ugh,
Okay? So, while we may think that eating bugs is a super nasty thing, a lot of other cultures consider the things that we eat as being kind of nasty too. So again, it's all about perspective. It's about the way that you were raised and where you were raised. Okay, so I want to tell you about some countries that do eat bugs. Are you ready for all this? Now, I got this off of the U.S. News and World Report, okay? They had this really cool article on traveling to different countries where you can eat bugs. Now, the citizens of Thailand love to eat bugs, okay? Fried bugs are commonly served with beer.
I hate beer.
I hope you hate beer. No beer for you. No beer for you. But I'm okay with you eating bugs, just not beer.
Yeah, I hate beer.
Okay, now, it used to be prevalent in northern provinces like Isan, okay? Snacking on bugs is now much more common across the country.
Baba's Japanese, but
Thank you for narrating the dog's movements while we're trying to record. But anyway, vendors across Thailand regularly sell crispy insects from carts at outdoor markets. Okay, one of the most popular snacks is something that's called jing lead, okay? And this is a deep fried cricket seasoned with golden mountain sauce, which is basically soy sauce. Now, you like soy sauce. You kind of eat soy sauce on everything, don't you?
yeah.
She even eats soy sauce on spaghetti noodles. You like that?
Yes.
So do you think you would eat this deep fried cricket with soy sauce? Okay, so they put soy sauce and they put pepper on there.
Spicy pepper.
Yeah, it's a little spicy. I'm sure it is.
I don't like spicy pepper.
You don't like spicy pepper?
I don't.
I bet you'd like it with a cricket though. Yum yum yum. Now, other favorites include a grasshopper, woodworm, bamboo worm, mang da, or what we know as a 3.5-inch long water beetle, okay? 3.5 inches long.
Water beetle.
That's huge. Okay? Now, most insects are sold by the Thai street vendors and are prepared in the same way. But each variety of bug is said to have its own distinct flavor. Okay, so out of those, which one would you want to try? The cricket, the grasshopper, woodworm, bamboo worm, or that 3.5-inch long water beetle?
Water beetle with soy sauce, like
With or without pepper?
No pepper with soy sauce.
Okay. Now, let's listen to the type of insects that are eaten in Ghana, okay? Now, termites we consider to be very, very bad, right? We have somebody come and spray and make sure that no termites get into the house because they can eat up all your wood, right?
Like they could damage you. Back porch.
Yeah, they love to munch on wood. But listen, in Ghana, they think they're very tasty and nutritious, okay?
Yes.
Eating bugs is not just a delicacy for them, but it also means survival because very often there's limited food in Ghana, okay? Ghana is a part of Africa. Now, when other types are when food is in short supply, it's very common to eat these termites, okay? Usually during the spring months. Ghanans also at this time are very busy planting their crops. Now, when the rains begin to come, it forces these termites to flee their underground homes. And guess what happens? They catch them. Okay? Now here's how they prepare them.
Ketchup? They turn into ketchup?
Well, they fry them, they roast them, and they even grind them into a type of flour. Okay? Now, here's what they say about the termites. They are high in protein, healthy fats and oils, and they are part of a very healthy and well-balanced diet?
I'll like termite.
You want to eat one of those termites?
Yeah, I will put soy sauce.
Fried, roasted, or ground?
Fried roasted.
Fried and roasted? Okay.
Yeah.
You want it 2 ways. Now, let's head down south of the border to Mexico. Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about what Mexicans consume as far as bugs go. Okay. French fried caterpillars are very common. Okay. Ant eggs are also very commonly served there. Okay.
Eggs.
Chocolate covered locusts.
Mmm.
Candy covered worms. Okay. Now, there is also a very famous alcoholic drink there in the state of Oaxaca. Okay. Now, this alcohol is called mezcal, and it is served with a worm. Okay? And it's actually a larval form of a moth. And they put the worm in the glass and they pour the mezcal over it.
Ugh, I hate worms.
No worms? Well, I'm not going to
worms
let you
in a
drink
drink.
mezcal anyways.
Because
But
it's
I don't
bad
know.
for you.
But I don't know. This whole chocolate covered locust thing sounds pretty good. Now,
I won't eat it.
Now, I've seen these candy-covered worms, so I've seen them in lollipops, okay? Yep, from Mexico. I've seen them.
Didn't
Now,
eat one?
I didn't eat one. Again,
Right.
you know I don't like worms, so that was my main objection. But I do like candy, so I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up.
But
I
what
like
if
candy.
it was in a drink? Fried, roasted.
In the mezcal? I don't know. I've never drank that. Okay? Now, let's go to China. Now, the Chinese snack on a wide variety of insects. Water bugs boiled and then soaked in vinegar. They also like to consume live scorpions doused in something that's called baijiu. Now, baijiu is a sorghum liquor.
But does the scorpions sting them? The chefs?
I don't know. That kind of seems like that would kind of, leave you open for a pretty good stinging. I don't know. We need to do a little further research on that. Or better yet, if anybody's out there that's listening and wants to do a little bit more research on this whole live scorpion being doused in baijiu, which again is a sorghum liquor. I don't know. What do you do?
Bob
Do you
is
swallow
tracking
it?
his butt again.
Okay. Don't pay attention to the draggy dog. We're not putting him on the podcast today. Okay. Now, Chinese citizens eat all sorts of insects, and in the very fine dining establishments, they serve it as delicacies in the larval state. That means the worm or the caterpillar, okay? Now, the Chinese people also enjoy roasted bee larvae, fried silkworm moth larvae, and they're said to be very rich in nutrients like copper, iron, riboflavin, thiamine, and zinc. Okay? Now, you asked about bug soup, right, Penny? Now, when it gets cold in China, people love to keep warm with a huge steaming bowl of ant soup. Yeah, I said it. Okay, now, let's go to Brazil. In Brazil, queen ants are a favorite snack. Okay, ants used to only be eaten by poor citizens who couldn't afford, the higher end proteins, but now this is a tradition that is actually celebrated. Every October and November, massive winged ants emerge from underground to the delight of tons of Brazilian residents, okay? They collect the ants, remove their wings, and fry them up, and sometimes dip them in chocolate, okay?
Ooh.
Now, there are even arts and crafts centers that are dedicated to this ant-eating tradition. You'll find everything from dishes to aprons featuring images of these ants, okay?
Oh, I'm serious.
Now, the people that love to snack on these guys claim that they taste just like mint. Okay? So do you like the flavor of mint?
Ugh. No,
Okay.
it's too spicy.
Too spicy? Okay. I like mint. So this might be something that would be pretty interesting. Now, we're heading back to Asia, to Japan. Now, in Japan, people have been eating bugs for centuries, okay? And this is generally due to their abundance, which means that there's just a ton of bugs there. Now, during times when the crops didn't make, or maybe there's not a lot of money to go around, insects were usually the main means of survival, okay? Especially for people who were living out in the country, or what they call rural populations, okay? Now, today, bugs are much more common. Restaurants all over the country serve up hearty portions of boiled wasp larvae, fried,
Oh my God.
fried silk moth pupa, and aquatic insect larvae. Okay, now, the Japanese also enjoy eating fully grown insects such as fried cicada and fried grasshoppers. Now, the Japanese people have sometimes looked down upon this practice of eating insects, but it's starting to become much more common and considered to be fine dining. Okay, so what do you think about that? Now, the UN, otherwise known as the United Nations, which is a governing body of many parts of the world, has actually recommended that we increase our insect eating. Okay, here's what they say. Eating insects can help boost nutrition and reduce pollution.
Pollution in your throat or your stomach?
Pollution around the world, okay? So like air pollution, water pollution, all of that kind of stuff,
Like
right?
trash pollution?
Trash pollution, absolutely. So they're saying that if we were to eat insects, it could actually reduce this, okay? Now, in their recommendation, they already state that over 2 billion people worldwide already eat insects as a regular part of their diet. 2 billion people. That's a lot of people. Okay, so to finish up this podcast, I want to read to you a little something that I found while I was doing my research. And what this is a selection of insects and what they actually taste like. Because I've never personally eaten an insect that I know of.
I eat an insect and a sea.
Oh, you ate some shrimp.
That's why I'm smart.
Because you ate insects?
That looks like a heart.
Well, I've accidentally swallowed flies before. And I don't remember them tasting like anything. But I want to read to you what I found that insects actually taste like. Okay, fried grasshoppers. You know what they say that they taste like? Sardines. I don't know. Sardines, that's kind of an acquired taste. Now, raw termites are said to taste like pineapple.
Ew, I hate pineapple.
You don't like pineapple?
Ugh.
I thought you loved fruit. Okay, listen to this. Praying mantis that's fried over an open fire, it's supposed to taste like shrimp and raw mushrooms. Okay? French fried ants, they're supposed to taste like beef jerky.
Beef jerky. I love beef jerky.
Okay, fried spiders, they taste like nuts. Okay?
I never made this.
Fried baby bees, they taste like smoked fish or oysters. Okay. Now, fried agave worms, they
But
taste like...
I haven't eaten fried baby.
No, this is... Well, listen to this. Fried agave worms are said to taste like sunflower seeds. Okay.
I would eat those.
Grubs of palm weevils, they're supposed to taste like bone beef marrow.
Ugh.
Diving beetles
Yeah.
are said to taste like clams.
Ew, I hate clams. Ew.
And fried wax moth larvae taste like potato chips or corn puffs. I like potato chips. Okay, so what do you think about this eating bugs? Are you willing to try a bug or two?
Yeah.
Maybe a bug and peanut butter sandwich?
Wait, Mommy. I think my hand got that.
You gonna do a bug and peanut butter sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Penny. You want to give any shout outs this week to your friends?
Ava, I hope you like our podcast. Bye.
I want to give a shout out to Claire and Lucy, who I know are listening.
Me too. I think so too.
And
Ava.
I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe or hit that notification button. Rate us and leave us a review. Thank you so much for listening.